welcome back to World Crisis Radio. So to sum that up, looking around for conservatives, there are almost no conservatives to be found. What I see among those Republicans in the House is a bunch of right-wing radicals, reactionaries. They don't have any conservative element. Conservative would be, you'd be respectful of tradition and indeed of the status quo. The American tradition is a high-wage economy. They're against it. The American tradition of the Republican Party in particular is protectionism. That's from Lincoln to into the 1950s. Protectionism was the Republican stock in trade, and it was generally a good thing. Republicans have turned against that now. So they're at war with tradition. They're not traditionalists. I would classify myself as an American system traditionalist. People like Governor Winthrop, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, Friedrich List, the Careys, Lincoln, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Kennedy, the New Frontier economics. That's the tradition. That's the positive tradition. And if you're against that, you're not a conservative. You're a right-wing reactionary. You're a right-wing radical. And don't call yourself conservative. I think it's giving these characters a free ride by calling them conservatives is a very big mistake. But now let's go into the action realm once again. The peace movement people are trying to gather themselves together. Obama is supposed to make the decision on the Afghanistan escalation, and it's not whether he will escalate, but only how much. That will be done apparently between November 7th, which was supposedly the Afghan election, which will now not be, between the 7th and the 11th, or then it was going to float until after the 20th when he comes back from Asia. Anyway, the point now is any peace group worth its salt, as I pointed out last week, has got to communicate with Obama right now, and there are drafts being circulated. Any peace movement has got to communicate with Obama saying, don't escalate, stop with these predator attacks in Afghanistan and Pakistan, stop CIA covert action and other U.S. government covert action in Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, get the troops out, have a Marshall Plan. Give him that in advance to help him make up his mind. One of the problems is that these Tea Party people have dominated the scene. Where are the anti-war people? How come they can't field a demonstration of 5,000 or 10,000 people, as we've just had again this week? Where are you, right? Where have all the peace groups gone, and so on? So that's going on. Now, the other big task, stop the Copenhagen Conference. The Copenhagen Conference is now at hand. It is next month, December 2009. This is the monstrous plot, right? If you want world government, one world, supranational monstrosities, this is it. Stop them. They want to impose what they call legally binding limits on carbon emissions. This issue is very clear-cut. This is not like healthcare where you've got to find the middle road, so to speak. This is simply no, nix, nada. So make Copenhagen fail. Now, the prospects are good. Remember, China and India had come together saying they will not accept any legally binding carbon limits that would strangle and destroy their future economic development. The Indian environmental minister, Ramesh, has said in October that India will walk out of the Copenhagen Conference if there's an attempt to impose legally binding carbon targets. Now, in this past week, we've had an electrifying development. The African Union has walked out of a preparatory conference for Copenhagen being held in Barcelona. The Africans have simply walked out, and it's not clear to me that they've ever returned. The European Union shills were trying to get the Africans to come back to it, but as of November 3rd, the Africans are in a boycott of the Barcelona conference, which apparently has shut down, halted, with no result that I can see. We're checking the reports, but as far as I can see, that's what it is. So the Africans have walked out. The Africans had the support of the non-aligned group, the Group of 77, but don't be fooled by the name. The Group of 77 actually has 130 members in it. So it's 130 non-aligned countries are backing the Africans. The other support comes from China, the Alliance of Small Island States, AOSIS, and the Least Developed countries group, as well as Bolivia and several Latin American countries, are supporting the Africans, saying no to these carbon targets. Now, unfortunately, what they seem to be demanding is that the advanced industrial world should have more stringent carbon targets. I think this is really an attempt in the last analysis to get more development aid. I believe that's the ultimate goal, and in this they're right. Now, there's a lot of confusion around this. The Algerians have apparently recalled their head negotiator from the meeting because of conflict about what the instructions were. But this is all to the good. So it's an atmosphere of chaos. And we've also got now in the U.S. Congress, the big task in this country is stop the Congress from passing a carbon tax, cap and trade bill of any kind before the Copenhagen conference. The only hope to get through the Copenhagen logjam was that Obama would come in with a strong, insane, Malthusian U.S. carbon tax, cap and tax bill. This does not look like it's going to happen. And again, thanks to the voters of New Jersey and Virginia for not letting this happen. It doesn't look like there's going to be a bill. You see the Republicans, and again, I'm happy to congratulate the Republicans. These people like Kit Bond and Imhoff have been doing yeoman service. They refuse to go to the meetings set up by Boxer at this crazy committee, so that seems to be bogged down. Now, there is an attempt by the rich elitist John Kerry, coming from the foundation world and the world of New England blue bloods, to have a cap and tax bill with the help of Lindsey Graham and Lieberman that would have some verbiage in it in favor of nuclear reactors, but which would essentially be a disguised cap and tax bill. So stop that one. Filibuster it. Keep boycotting those hearings. I think that's a good idea. Use parliamentary obstructionism in all of its possible forms. Now, we've also got, in terms of the world energy picture, just a couple of things. Notice that Sweden and Finland have endorsed the German-Russian Nord Stream pipeline. That's the pipeline down the middle of the Baltic, so you get your natural gas from Russia directly into Europe, bypassing Poland and Ukraine. And unfortunately, the sabotage actions of Poland and Ukraine under the very ill-advised governments there, that has been a terrible thing, and that's why we've now got the Nord Stream pipeline and, as mentioned, the South Stream pipeline with Italy and Turkey cooperating with Russia on that one. So there are real energy solutions in the world. It's through production, nuclear energy, of course, and these initiatives to deliver natural gas. But that takes building. It takes the creation of infrastructure. And again, the green jobs are not going to be the answer. Now, we're going to use our last segment here for a discussion of economic program. Let's talk about a couple of things that are going on in terms of economic program. Back on the 29th of October, there was a conference near here in Washington, which was about U.S. infrastructure. This is makingitinamerica.org, the Alliance for American Manufacturing, building the new economy. And here we have who? The governor of Pennsylvania, Ed Rendell, Boris Sage, left liberal activist, Harold Meyerson of the Washington Post, Rich Trumka, the new head of the AFL-CIO, Suma of the United Steelworkers, Clyburn, Kuttner, Sherrod Brown of Ohio. We'll give you the report on this in just a minute.